All right. Let's see what we got here. Turn this off, turning that off. And what are we gonna do? All right. Share screen, bada bing, bada boom. Screen two. Cool. Get that bad boy off. And I don't think I can do that. All right. What is up? I think this might still be a little loud. Let me turn this down. I don't know if you can hear the music or not. I can hear the music. It's a little loud for me, but whatever. All right. Boom. What have we got going on today? We've got QuestionScout again. Just a few days ago, I covered this in comparing it to Cabin Panda. But for those with a keen eye, see that this all looks very, very different than what we saw the other day. And why is that? It's because QuestionScout 2.0, I don't think they're officially calling it that, but they just had like a major update. So I'm calling it QuestionScout 2.0. It is live. So obviously they've updated the website to reflect that. Even just here in the screenshot, you can see, let me turn this up a little bit maybe. You can see that kind of the whole UI and UX is radically different than what we saw the other day. And some other things, etc. Oh yeah, I guess they're kind of building collaboration into it now, which is kind of cool. So you can work in real time together. So that's awesome. I won't be able to showcase that tonight because I don't have friends, but for those that do and work with other people, yeah, you can collaborate in real time. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's hop right on in. The other thing I'm going to show off is AidaForm. Let's see. Do this. All right. So Adaform is another platform that launched quite some time ago. It's pretty solid though. I still prefer QuestionScout, but I'm going to take a look at this in a little bit as well for somebody who requested it. So, but I really want to focus on QuestionScout tonight if possible. 1 second. QS streams time. Right. Sorry, 1 second. Cool. So, what was I gonna do? Right. I actually have sort of a product. Like I have something I need to get done, right? In terms of like a project. So I almost feel like that's actually the ideal way to show off kind of the new UI and UX of QuestionScout. Like I said, we went through this briefly before, and still a lot of the same elements sort of exist, but things are reshuffled around. So I'm actually going to do quote unquote work I have to do just to show you like the process behind it all and how I would go about doing it. And you can see some like interesting facets that I'm going to build into this, both in like the QA of it, as well as how I build out calculations. So without further ado, let's jump into this. I think I already started it though, somewhere here. I'm just gonna totally start. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is a new thing. Oh, I don't want to show this. This is, well, oh well, please don't spam us. Anyway, so this is a new thing, is delete form, but they're building in this whole like hold and click functionality. So you'll notice here, like if I just touch it, it says hold to confirm. So you have to hold and click to delete it now. Anyway, We're going to start from scratch. We're going to do a conversational. Previously, the last. Ooh, actually, we're going to start with traditional. It's ultimately going to be conversational, but we'll switch it to traditional for right now to work with, so we can easily QA it. And this was like kind of a big qualm of mine with Cabin Panda, is it sort of had it for the deployment. But for example, if you started a form as conversational, you couldn't change it at all. So if you committed to conversational, you would have to delete all of your work and rebuild it, because they wouldn't allow you to just like toggle between different form types. To deploy it, there were different types, such as like what's like backendless, like HTML form. I think like embed was one, etc. But like it didn't change the actual like functionality of the form itself. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that. So yeah, let's take a look at kind of like what's going on here. We now see our workspaces up here and then our form name. We see still like this middle area with sidebars. Now I'm trying to think. Why do I feel like there was only one sidebar before? See, I have a bad memory. It's just a few days ago, but I definitely know like a left sidebar exists. I don't recall a right sidebar. But we still have this very like sidebar mechanic going on. And same with like even this sliver sidebar. Before you could sort of like expand it to see field names or like labels, I should say, like these labels. But now they just show it on hover, which is totally fine. It's pretty intuitive in terms of like what you're looking at. Like without looking, you figure like kind of this is editor builder, this is probably themes customization, this is obviously localization, this probably has to do with like notifications, this is integrations, payments, and then just settings, right? Like icons obviously are very intuitive. So cool. Let me show you briefly what I'm working on. So we're going to be doing this where we create like a quiz, and we're retweaking it. So we're going to have a lot of like verses, but you'll see here we have these different kind of like categories that we're fulfilling. And these are going to be variables that we're basically tallying up. So it's going to be a lead gen quiz that I'm working on, where based on some sort of output, we're going to send them to a custom thank you page. So we're going to go through all of that right now. I really don't have the website built out yet to have those custom thank you pages to show, but I can still show you what that would roughly look like. So let's get into it. So we have add. I mean, it already has this like little label here, little tooltip, I should say. Add. So it looks like a lot of these are the same. I don't think they really added or removed or modified in any way the elements that are here. Oh, there's even pre-built sections now. Oh, there's a dress not here. Okay, I guess they're doing pre-built sections. I also know, like, and this is kind of like the big disclaimer, is that I know the QuestionScout team was really prioritizing this release. So they more or less put a lot of their features on hold in terms of development, because what they want to do is they wanted to get this out and have it serve as like a foundation for future feature releases. So now that this is here and you see this kind of like little tab, between elements and pre-built sections, and it's just one item, I have like an inkling that that this is probably going to see many more like additions in the future. So I wouldn't totally discount this for being there right now, but it serves as a launch pad. Cool. So what are we going to do? We're basically just going to do a lot of just like almost true and false. If you watched my last video, we were doing, or I showed like a true and false form. but instead this time we're just going to put the choices or the questions. Oh, what's going on here? Just can I click it? Okay, you just click it. You don't click and drag. We're more or less going to put the question in. Oops. Sorry, multitasking. Advance, no. Here. Basically going to put the questions as the answers and leave this as just like a question, like question one type of thing. So yeah, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Before, like when you clicked on this, I'm pretty sure it popped up with all of your like customizations you can make. It's all in the sidebar and these different tabs right now. The thing too, and this is also another disclaimer, is that this just released like a day or today, like either a day ago or today. So you can resize the sidebars by dragging this. Earlier, this was broken. Yeah, it's like this is broken. You'll see that these tabs are resizing, but the actual pane itself isn't. So, and also like I have, I don't know, this will take me out of here. Like I technically have an avatar, but it's not loading. So, there's still some quirks, some kinks that they need to like work out. But overall, it's still a much better experience. So anyway, let's get back into this. We'll delete, remove options. Okay. Okay, so now we can just remove all, which is nice, or we can hold and click the delete option for that. So what are we going to do? We have, and just bear with me. I know this is going to be like a little boring, but hopefully this will give you an idea of kind of what we're doing here. Actually, let me see if I can just do this side by side so you can see the like flow of the process at work here. Now that's going to be way too tight. All right, scratch it. All right. Anyway, so stick with me here. I'm going to try to like work kind of fast, a little sloppy, but just for sake of this, feel free to skip ahead in the video at this point if you're not interested in this at all. For those who are watching live, I'm sorry, but the process, content. We got to do the content. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to build out the questions themselves, and then I'm going to go back through and do the actual variables and calculations. So that way it's just keeping things like in order. There's a process that are following. Remove all this, do this, that. Cool. Actually, I can do this too. Where is this? Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Here we go. So this is actually a lead gen form / quiz that we're building for another project I'm working on. Our first one had about like 10,000 responses, give or take. So that was awesome to see. So we're really excited about like what QuestionScout offers, because a lot of the other platforms I try to use, I try to pitch a lot of different platforms that have kind of popped up that I thought would be really good for lead gen, such as like Marquiz is one. If you're familiar with that, that kind of prides itself on lead gen. But in testing it, what I found out is that it didn't really have like a calculation capability such that you couldn't tally results and then give like a dynamic thank you page based on a variable. You could branch it through like conditional logic and create like a whole tree, but that isn't necessarily ideal because you would have to, like there would just be so many conditions. Like if you have 4 different variables, then you're always branching them off by 4, and it just becomes like exponentially larger and larger and larger the more questions you have. So it doesn't really work. And the team seemed to be like kind of against calculations. Like they didn't really see the value in it. So I chose to walk away from that. What am I looking at right now? Sorry. These aren't numbered, so it makes it difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. Okay. Oops. I messed this up. I messed this up. I messed this up really bad. Please hold. Let me order. Oh no, that's not working. Okay. Let me go back. Apologies. That's what happens when I try to talk and do something at the same time. I don't know like how these gamers like play at the level they do, and then also talk the entire time. My brain would just scramble. Okay. What else have I discovered with QuestionScout? So there's some other things we'll get into. One other thing that I did notice, and I'm just kind of like pointing out the flaws at the moment, just because those are things that are immediately noticeable to me. You know, like the major changes that I really notice. I mean, obviously, this whole UI and UX is a major change, but it doesn't inherently change the way you create a form, right? This is question 3, so we're on question 4. Yeah, okay. But so one thing was the reporting. So now they have results up here in the top left corner. We'll take a look at that in a little bit once I'm done with this. But the one thing I noticed is that if you create a section and you have like fields within that section, so for example, if you make like a 2-column structure and then you put something like first name, last name in there. One of our other forms that does that, those fields were missing from the reporting, which is a massive setback for us because, like I said, that form is for lead gen. And the way we kind of have it structured is that we have all the questions and then we have lead gen at the very end within a section to like make it look nice. But now that we don't have the most critical component, like we don't care about their answers really, right? Like we care enough to redirect them to the website based on their results, but we don't actually care. It's not like a quiz where we're scoring it. So for us, the most critical component is the fact that it's a lead gen form. So since that is now gone, that's a bit like troublesome for us, but I'm hoping that's just a temporary issue that they're sorting out. Going on here. Okay, there we go. It wasn't populating here. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they fix that. Like, you have to obviously assume that the data is still being captured, so it's just a matter of taking a look at that and then them fixing whatever is going wrong there. What else? There was another issue that will come up as I'm building this out when I get to variables and calculations that in the sidebar, like one of the fields, when it's a drop-down field, there's kind of like a white box that covers it, so it cuts off the actual like field name or variable that you're trying to work with. So that's a bit of a nuisance as well. It's kind of minor. I mean, like you still see the option in the drop-down. It's just once you select it, then it sort of gets hidden. Did this here? No, I did this. Damn. Don't feel comfortable with certain emotions in the waking. When I woke up from the dream, from this dream. Okay, I can just move these. Wait a second. Huh? Was I just missing something? I don't know. Let me see this. After express some emotions, when I woke up from the stream, I did not recall, blah, blah, okay. When I woke up from the stream, I had no idea. Yep. Stream I expressed a quarter. Okay. I think that's more or less. I'll have somebody QA this. But this is the gist of it, right? Questions 1 through 8, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Now we want to tally the results. So we have 4 different kind of like categories, 4 different variables that we need to create. So it is in here somewhere. Element logic, no, calculations, as seen by the calculator. So we'll take a look at this. So this is element properties, just very basic stuff in advance, such as like required, hidden, and read only. Then we have element options to add option, remove option, and then we can assign different values to different options, which was something I should have been doing. I'll go back and update this as we go through it. You can set default options if you want, selection limits for more focusing on if you're doing like a multiple choice, like say maybe you have 10 options of a multiple choice. You don't want somebody to be able to click all 10. You want to say like choose your top 3. So you could do like selection limits. It was like 1 to 3. If you want them to choose up to 3 of their preferred like choices, but it's not necessary like to dictate that it's 3 of 3. Otherwise, you can do something like this, right? Other randomized options and the predefined options. I think this is mostly the same. I want to say time zones is new. We looked at this the other day. Maybe days of the week, months of the year are also new. I think maybe these 3 are new. And these other, what is that, 7? No, 6? 6. Are old or from like the last version. Okay, so let's get back on track. What are we doing here? So we need to actually move all of these up here from value to label. And why are we doing that? Because what we're going to do is we are going to put the value as the category, like the variable that we're going to end up tallying. So this is not what the user will see. They will continue to see the label, this option label, and we, as the admin person building the form, will see the value. It just helps quickly identify the choices, because I don't know necessarily inherently what my dreams seem to give me a direction for something I've been thinking about during my waking life, what that correlates to in, a few seconds. I would have to reference something else. So if I can add that value there, it just gives me that transparency and like clarity that I need to kind of work more efficiently. What are we doing? This. All right. That. So sorry, we're doing a lot of duplicate work here to a degree. And I almost want to say this was how it worked with last version. I would have to like go back and check older videos. I want to say though that when you did toggle the assign values to options, that it did assign whatever was already there as the label, and that the value would come under it blank. I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. So it's a bit odd to me that the value is now pre-filled and the label itself isn't. Like I said, I could be wrong. I could be misremembering, but I think that's how it was. If not, that would be my recommendation, is that you have to like believe that whatever somebody had put there originally is the label, and that they want to add now a new value to it. So that'd be a recommendation I'll make to the team. They're very receptive, very understanding, and I think if they get that type of feedback, they'll definitely make that change if they think it makes sense. Okay, venting insight, go here, advanced. Okay. Ah, boy. The fact that these aren't numbered makes it a little more difficult. This is 3. We want to work with 4 now. There. I also wish in the moment that when you did add the labels, like if I do this, it adds it back in. But like if I delete the value, it sort of deletes the question that you're working with. So I wish they would also maybe change that too. It makes it a little more difficult. I mean, at least for this particular use case, right? Like it's not just a simple yes, no, or something like that, you know, like typically speaking, your question, like your answers wouldn't be this long, like they would be the question, and then your answer would be far more truncated. But for this particular use case, with a really long response or answer, having it appear here without a value would be preferred. Especially if you're a doofus like me, who, you know, has 2 brain cells that are working as hard as they possibly can to form a sentence at any given moment. I have 2 question 5s. 2 question 5s, okay. Doing my waking life. Like I said, I don't like whatever I'm referencing doesn't have numbers, so it's without actually reading stuff, like I'm not stopping to really read through this stuff, so it's a bit weird during my dream. I mean, these are truly just duplicated. Did I skip something by accident? People tell me react differently. I struggle to process things during my dream. When I woke up from the dream. Okay, that's just duplicated. How many questions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 here. Okay. So we can just delete this. Okay, then we got this in there. That's good. 6. Anybody who's sitting through this and not bitching, you're a good sport. Wait. Okay. See, that's kind of what I'm saying too. Is it's like if I go back, like if I go to the front of these, when I'm looking at this, like you know, the first how many ever 7 words are basically the same. I guess right here you could see an H and a W, but when you're quickly glancing, like this almost seems duplicated. So you're sort of second guessing yourself, and you can't reference it here without putting in just like some BS value, right? So now I can see it and say, oh yeah, those are definitely unique, and I don't have to worry about that when I woke up from the dream. All right, this one, insight. Okay, this is 6, right? So we're on 7. Side values. How's everybody's day? We're doing good. Everybody's doing well. Let me see. Am I missing any messages? Oh, okay. Yay, people are watching. Okay, let me go back to this. I just want to make sure I wasn't neglecting people too much. I looked away. Okay. these. We're on question 8. Last one. Then we're going to get into the actual calculations. Nope. Huh? How did these get here? It's half right. It's not entirely right. Okay. All right, cool. So now we have all the values in place. Sorry, 1 second. I like errantly touched my glasses and there's a smudge right in front of my eye. There's like a swirl. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is create the variable that we want to work with. So we're going to go here. Doesn't matter. You can click like outside of this. It doesn't really matter where you create the variable from. We'll go back to question 1. So we're starting from the top, working down. But if you go here to calculation variables, you'll see score. Score is always there. Oh, you can delete it now. That's good. It doesn't harm you to leave it there. But if you just do add, and then we can do this. So we're just going to make it, the 4 categories. So we have what? Insight. Well, let's do event. Kind of going to go in order. We venting. This is something I wish maybe slightly better too, such that like you saw, like when I add it, it sort of like takes me back out, and I have to like do a few clicks every time to get back into this. I wish it was a little smoother. Insight, right? I don't think there's another way to get back other than this. So even if going back, this was still expanded, that would have been fine. The fact that this collapses, it's just an extra click. Then it sort of just adds up, right? Like it's just another action, and every time you're adding more and more actions, and you do build out something more complex, like it adds up. So let's see what else we have. Physical. Oops. Let's do insight, and then physical for this last one. Yeah. Okay. So now we have built out the variables. So now what are we going to do? We're going to go back into question 1. We're in question 1, just making sure. And here we're going to do add calculation. So we're going to do. Then do insight, and then add another one. Oh. Oh. Did they change this? Am I doing this wrong? This is display. Oh no. Let's see. Let's work through this. All right. So the first one's insight. If my dream seemed to add 1 to insight. Let's see. That's a problem then. It didn't used to work like this. Am I doing something wrong? I don't think so. Ooh, that's not good then. Because before, for anybody who watched previous video, you basically had like this was its own field as well. So you were saying like, okay, if it's this option, then do whatever you want, some value to some variable. Oh, okay. Maybe this is it. Okay. All right, so it's slightly different. It's I would say the old UX was actually better when it came to this, because this is confusing. No, I mean maybe it's just me. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. Like I said, it's so new. It's like oddly the same system, but everything is totally reworked. So it just you have to retrain yourself for better or worse, right? Wait, this isn't right though. Dream, my dream. Okay, there we go. My dream, the dream. Okay, okay. Now this makes sense. Now this works. Okay. So that is another major change. Not bad, I guess. I still like the old system, but definitely a little disorienting at first. Okay, we're going to add venting. That's the first one. Add one to venting. Go back. Add calculation. Second one's insight. That insight. Okay, that looks good now. Question 3. Calculation. Add calculation. We're working with. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Dream. Yeah. Okay. Venting and physical. Venting. First option 1. Physical. Second option 1. So all we're doing here is we're just adding 1. So like the base score is 0, and so for every one of these questions, we're basically just creating a tally. And a lot of other platforms, I have to check Adaform again, but a lot of the different form platforms I've used don't facilitate that for some really weird reason. It kind of really sucks. Sorry, I'm trying to get my bearings here. Venting and physical. Venting and physical. Okay, we're there. Wish fulfillment, venting. So yeah, like that's the other reason I really like QuestionScout. I mentioned this in my last video too. Was just that like a lot of other platforms don't let you tally like this. They let you sort of do a cumulative score, but it's not exactly the same thing. Like Block Survey, for example, another kind of like popular form survey builder, but where I'm doing the values here, you would almost have to do a new value / variable for every question. So if we're on like question 1, this would be like wish fulfillment 1, and then question 2 would be like wish fulfillment 2, so on and so forth. And then you have to sum all of those up. Oh, that's the other thing I'm noticing too. So this is supposed to be like a little cleaner, I think. I also want to say in the old calculation, that I'm talking about it and thinking about it, in the old calculation, these values are what were shown here. So when I was saying like it adds clarity, rather than have like this whole thing like people tell me blah blah blah, like it would just be wish fulfillment. So I knew that okay, if I'm adding wish fulfillment to wish fulfillment, like easy peasy. Now this adds like a little more ambiguity, where I have to like constantly double check and make sure, okay, is this actually wish fulfillment? Is this actually venting, etc.? So that's weird. Am I missing something again here? I don't think so. Before, that's how it worked. And let me add an option. Maybe like physical. So some text. All right. Yeah, see, physical is the label here. But if I go here, I do physical. Here, it's physical. So I think they should. Sorry, excuse me. They should update that, because before it was a lot. Yeah, a lot more clear. I don't know. I'm trying to like think and do at the same time. Yeah, now you have to sort of double check your work a bit more. And like I said, this is sort of atypical, like, right? You wouldn't usually have these like mini paragraphs / sentences, they're just a sentence, as your answer. right? It would just be an actual answer, and it would probably make a lot more sense logically. But that's sort of the beauty of Question Scout, is that it allows you to do things like this. So before, it was a lot more user friendly when it came to matching assigned values to a variable. So now where the hell are we? Struggle process. I think that wish fulfillment venting. Yeah. Okay. Just that. We're on question 4, so we don't go to question 5. Wish fulfillment physical. Yep. Wish fulfillment. First one. Add 1. Physical. So obviously, as I'm getting more and more used to this, it's less clunky. Just have to keep drawing comparisons between what I'm used to working with and this new version. Wish fulfillment physical, insight physical. Sorry, I know. I know this is just like the work of a madman because you can't see what I'm actually referencing. But I don't want to sacrifice like screen real estate just to show that, because it's a lot hard to work with. Insight physical, is that what I did? Yeah, okay. Good. Question 7, almost there. Good job, everyone. You're hanging in there. Or you've checked out and I'm talking to nobody. That's cool too. Physical. Okay. Last one is insight venting. Insight venting. All right, cool. So then the last thing I want to do is do description. And what we're going to do here should still work. Your result, maybe your result is how do I want to do this? So what we're basically doing is we're adding the values. I haven't actually QA'd this, right? Like the reason I'm going back through this and creating this is because before we had like 4 different options, and it was possible to get basically 4 different results, or like 4 of these different variables as results. But the whole point of this is to identify like one type. So you should either be like insight or physical or wish fulfillment or venting. Before, it was possible to be like all 4, depending on your decision making. Because there were just 4 questions, they were true and false, and you could just score 2, 2, 2, 2, and have all of them. Even if it didn't really make sense logically, it was just what the user was given. So even if they navigated it incorrectly, they could still end up with all 4 choices. So now we're trying to tweak it so you only get one. Like that should be the outcome. I haven't actually QA'd this. So I don't know if this is going to work. So what we're just going to do for right now is we're going to do the numbers. I just want to see when I go through this to QA it, what the actual final tally looks like. Should be a variable. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we have something. Oops. Okay, venting, not venting. Wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. We have insight and insight, and then physical. All right, physical. Okay, cool. That's more or less the same thing. So now we see here that we're all at 0. Cool. Yeah. Let's, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Share form preview. It's the other thing too, and maybe I'm not immediately noticing it. Share. No, I don't want to publish. This is something I didn't see earlier too, is that before you could just do like a form preview where it just kind of like popped out like a new window and then you were able to interact with the form. And I see like I'm clicking on things, but this stuff's not populating. It should be, right? So I think I have to publish. And then open it up. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, right. So you'll see, like, even just clicking one option, it gives me insight one down here. So we're creating a tally. So let me just randomly click. See what we get here. Okay, so venting is top. Can I alter that? Right, okay. That's good. That converts that. I'm trying to find, can I? That's 3. It's like one of those like weird puzzles, right? Trying to see what I can click. But no, I think now it's pretty good, such that we should expect 1 to always be 3. We should never have like. Never mind. So what is this? I have to make a note of this. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, QA. Obviously, it's good, right? So we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1 is what we're seeing here. All right, let me see if I can just easily duplicate this. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay. So I'll have to talk with the person that created this and let them know. It's always why you QA your stuff. But, and once again, like if I actually went through this, well, some of this might be like extremely just contradictory. And like, no, it's simply, you can't simply choose this option and the other option because they just like, they contradict one another, right? But we're all humans, and I don't know, somebody could misinterpret something and end up with this result and all goes moot again, right? So anyway, I'll put that aside for right now. But yeah, like I said, availability, close from to new responses, show link options. And embed on a web page. So they have responsive embed, fixed embed, pop-up embed, full screen embed. Quick share, you can even download QR code. That was in the old thing. It's just this is cleaner for sure. I just wish, I still wish there was a way to, well, I guess before what it was the preview. I don't see really an interactive, like I don't know if this is working as intended, where this should be the new preview and that whatever you're doing here is actually influencing this, but it's obviously not, right? Oh wait, preview. What if I do this? No. Okay, I thought maybe this, I know it's a preview logic, but I thought maybe like this was toggling between like interaction and not, but it's not the case. Okay. So yeah, I would like a preview, like a true preview, so I don't have to push this live and then like delist it every time. Like make it paused, right? Cool. So what do we do now? Thank you pages. So this is also a bit different. Before it was kind of like in settings, and then you would build out thank you pages. Now it's sort of like baked into this. Same with like the welcome page. Welcome page you can like toggle on and off. So actually you can't interact with it while it's disabled. So you can say like train flows. find out about your dreams or something. Oops. All right, so this is kind of a welcome page. I could do something here, but I'm not going to. And then you can just simply enable or disable this as to whether or not it shows up. I feel like this should be something. No, I guess it really just is identifying this. Okay, so in a similar vein, we've got thank you pages. So still the same options here, just different UI UX of how we interact with it. So if I do this, we can do venting, and we can instantly redirect to a URL. So we'll do something like this. Oops. Dream quiz. This isn't actually what it's going to be, but we can pretend that like this will take us to dream quiz results. Maybe we'll make that more apparent, right? So dream quiz results, right? Venting. So that way we'll make a logic here where we're saying that, like, if add element, if venting is greater than, more than, push fulfillment. Oh, okay, yes, this is what I was talking about, right? This like glitch. So you'll see like here, I can see everything just fine. But when I click it, there's like this phantom white box that prevents you from actually seeing it, which doesn't obviously change the function, but in terms of the form, it's hard to see. Like I can't just look at this. Like sort of can, because there's a slant, right? But it's not the point. I can't just look at it and see that it's wish fulfillment. So that's a glitch too with this new system. And then when venting is more than insight, and then when it's more than physical. We're basically just saying, like, in a dream scenario, when it's working the way intended and everything's not 2, 1 should be 3. And so in this scenario, we're saying that venting is 3 and everything else is obviously less than 3. It doesn't matter if it's 2 or 1 or 0. Or, I guess you could do 4. I mean, you could, have a higher number, I suppose. But anyway, if it's more than any of the other variables, it's the winner. Therefore, we want it to go to this URL, right? The thank you message doesn't really matter. You could do a thank you message with a delay. So you could say, please wait while we redirect you to your results. All right. You can set this like 2 seconds or something. So it's super low, but they see like, okay, it's submitting. Okay, now it's working. Type of thing, right? So like that. So we've done venting. So we'll do something similar. Those 2 seconds. Let's grab from this. Yeah. This is going to be the fulfillment. 2 seconds. With I'm going to use if so on the site. If you're not familiar with if so, let me pull it up. If so, there is if so, which is like dynamic content based on different types of criteria. So we do it by like UTM parameter or link or something. I think it's link, where it just creates like a thing like this, and it's like if so, it's a hyphen. I don't know. If so equals venting, right? And so then based on this, it would show a different page based on that criteria. Anyway, so this is cool. It really kind of like supercharges what we're able to do with QuestionScout. Okay, so we got that. This would be push fulfillment. Oh, we do it here, right? Push fulfillment is more than variable venting, more than variable insight, more than variable physical. Okay. Oops. We'll do this. Insight. Insight. This. Add element. Insight. Add level. More than variable venting. Variable push fulfillment. More than variable physical. Run that in. Let's just go physical. This. And it's good to me. All right, so yeah, let's do this again. Let's publish live. Publish. Okay. Is that here? No. Availability settings. Okay. So this also toggles if it's paused or not. Let's manage. Okay, you can manage what the message to see when it's closed or paused. Okay. Open form. Oops. Oops. Anyway, there's that message. Okay, so now we're just gonna do random things. I can QA it afterwards. I'm just gonna do the first option of everything. Oh, well, first option of everything also doesn't work. First option of everything. This is 2, 1, 1. I'm just creating like a cheat sheet of my responses and how it influences things. Okay, so like this, like these are 3, right? So these are tied for the highest. If I do this, like it's okay that these are both 2 because 3 is still a winner. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're expecting venting. If I submit this, it's going to just take me to like a 404 page because the page doesn't actually exist. But the URL should be right. No, not right. Why is it not right? I did everything, right? We said it should be venting, no? Venting. Double check again. What did I do? Maybe I didn't swap it out. Okay. Let's take a look at this venting. No, it's venting. Can I do the logic one? That's not right though. Venting goes to venting. Wish fulfillment goes to wish fulfillment. And we check venting. It's more than all of these, right? The logic makes sense. More than, more than, more than. More than wish fulfillment, more than insight, more than physical, which it was, because it was 3 and then it was like 2, 2, 1 or whatever. Let me try something different. I can't determine right now if it's like a glitch or okay, we're expecting insight. Wish fulfillment. Why is it defaulting to wish fulfillment? I'll have to take a look at this. I don't know if that's a bug. Oh, okay. This is a bug at least. But it doesn't matter. Like it should have still taken me to insight. Well, not a bug though. That's like user error. Venting, wish fulfillment, insight, physical, right? That all makes sense. And then this just doesn't redirect to anything. Can I delete that? Can't, can I? Not that it should matter. Are we misassigning variables somehow? I know. No, I mean, we know what the variables are because we have the QA here. And that's why I always do this. Like, I never leave it to the backend stuff. I always build out like a front end view of that. So what's going on? Doesn't make sense. You're not expecting physical. It's going to be wish fulfillment. Yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. I'm going to chalk that up to some sort of bug. Unless I'm told otherwise. Venting, wish fulfillment, insight, physical. I'm trying to think of like where else. What does the preview logic even do? Maybe it does it for this. Create score. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with the calculations. We've already proven that the calculations work here. So it has to be something here. Oh, this still doesn't. Right, once again, like user error, but even then if it was defaulting to this, let me see. Maybe this is why. Oops. Maybe because there wasn't something here and I was expecting it, that's what it was doing. So what is this? Venting, wish fulfillment, insight, venting, wish fulfillment, insight, more than. Okay, that's set up. But I would still kind of expect it to go. No, I have no idea. Let's try this. Let's try this somewhere else. Here, there. All right, just incognito. So let's see. Basically, so that one for every option. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oy. This is frustrating. So this rework did absolutely nothing to fix our problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. The first four are 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 2, 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2. Gonna fire this person. You. Okay. So here we're expecting physical. We're seeing physical is 3. Let's try this. Still wish for okay. I then have to chalk that up to some sort of bug or something. I'll have to reach out and see what. I thought maybe with this missing its logic, it was throwing a wrench in something, but now that's fixed. There's no reason it should be doing that. All URLs are unique. All the logic is sound. All right. Oh well. Anyway, so this is more or less 2.0. Actually, let's no, that's not more or less 2.0. We actually should have results now. Here we go. Let me also show you what happens. I should be able to recreate it. How do I recreate it? Actually, yeah, let's do sort of control and test. So we're going to do short answer. That's a long answer. So I don't think that's what I clicked. Add short answer. Short answer. Name. Jeez. Name. Add email. Add section to add, we're gonna do another name. How do I do that? Okay. Section name. Then we're going to do email because I want to make sure I'm replicating this. I think this is a bug as well. Why? Okay. This is section email. All right, so what I had seen in another form is that by adding fields to a section, it wouldn't show me the details. Like I can actually show you that. Oops, could just go back to Armor, coping skills, coping skills, results. Oh no, okay, I'll show you the thing. So next page. Okay. Down here you'll see like this is all a section of like first name, last name, another section of email. I don't know why I did that, but section of email, and then a checkbox. If I go to results, go to this. It takes a hot minute because there's a lot of responses. All right. You'll see here. Oh, where did you come from? I mean, please don't steal people's things. Just be a decent human being. Okay, right. Well, oh, there's first name, there's last name. Oh, okay, the fields are there. Maybe I glossed over them. All right, fields are there. Never mind. Anyway, it kind of jumbles it. I think maybe you can reorganize columns if I saw correctly. Okay, never mind. Should be good. I feel like it wasn't there before, but maybe I missed it. Maybe I was expecting it to come later in the columns, and so I glossed over it, or maybe they updated it because I did report it like earlier today that those were missing. So I don't know if it was missing and they addressed it, or if I missed it. But okay, anyway, so we should be good here then. I should be able just to delete these. I'm going to delete all of them just because I don't want this to be a part of the process. Or do I? Yeah, I'll leave this part of the process for right now. Okay, so we're saying this is live. Doing share, open form. If I alternate 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, at least that works. Matthew, email@Adaform. Still gonna do wish fulfillment. Yeah, whatever. I'll go to results now. Cool. Right. Section name, section email. Can I move fields? Oops. No. Can I? Freeze column. I can't move columns. I don't know if that, that might be something that they'll add. Focus table, no. Hide, this doesn't allow me to move anything. Filter is just creating a filter. Sort is just going to be sorting based on columns. It's not going to change columns. So I guess maybe at best you could export and then move some columns around with the exported CSV. It's not exactly what I'd like to see, but whatever. This is kind of nice too. I think this is new. Could be wrong. Oh, okay. Well, that seems to be a bug. Yeah, that seems to be a bug too. See, kind of stumble upon things, don't you? You'll see here, like you see that there are scores more or less, but then when you do show more, they go away. So it should show scores, but it's not. I was gonna say, like, that's kind of nice, so you can at least just see how they scored versus maybe necessarily looking at all this. Like, you could then hide all these questions because you don't really care about that. You just want to see what their end score was. But anyway, maybe if I exported it, those values would be there. I'm not going to check. Actually, I guess I should check. If I deselect all, and then I do like this, the description. So, export. Check my email. Sorry, I'm neglecting chat. Oh, there's nothing to neglect because nobody's saying anything. That's okay. Sorry. I hate me too. Download responses. So we saw that when I did export, I did everything except these three, right? Like I did description, section name, and section email. But even on the export, it's just showing section name, section email. It's not showing the description, but it is just more or less missing. Weird. So I wonder if it's all somehow correlated. Like if the reason that this stuff is missing and the reason that the redirect URL isn't working as intended are somehow like correlated. I'll report that though. All right, cool. What else? Let's take back or take another look at this. Just so that's more or less, I think, all we're gonna do with the actual form itself. Can I rename it here? Quiz themes. Do some gaudy thing like this. We really wanted. It's weird. Don't do that. It's also weird. Why? Like the font is off. Oh, that's better. Okay, that's better. More with that. Messaging for localization. Let's see. This is nice to import from other form. So that way, like, all you really have to do is just do this once. Like, it's obviously a lot of work to go through all of this and update it, but the fact that you can do it once and then just import in is nice. Notifications. Let's see what we got here. Select email, did that through QuestionScout around SMTP, sender email, etc. Respond to notification, response confirmation. Enable your responses successfully been received. Okay, right. So if you do that, you can change this out. Okay. So response confirmation is for the person filling it out, not necessarily for you. That'll be self notifications. Payment confirmation. Payment successfully been received. Okay. And then self notifications would be to anybody that's on your team. Integrations. So that this is kind of revamped. So you've now got this stuff. They've got integrate Leapably. Same payment processors. They didn't add any. This is like a little more intuitive. How you go about it before you like had to go through like the main settings and then set it up and then go back in and kind of like enable things in the form. So that's good. And then you just add webhooks now. Payments itself. Just takes you back here. Sandbox. Connect. Nope. Okay. Another bug. Can I just report this? Okay. Well. Payments. Remove that. Anyway, there's like smart taxes. Do no additional taxes, smart tax, based on country, or flat tax. So that's nice. Okay. And we looked at results, and I think it's pretty much it. Kind of briefly looked at the share options. Yeah, that's about it. So there's obviously been changes and updates to the whole like UI and UX. We do this, it's a bit different now, but it's the same thing. Fan usage, et cetera. Connected apps. Custom domains. SMTP, Zapier key, don't steal that. Actually, it doesn't matter. Guess I could steal it. Cool. What else? That's that. All right. So yeah, we definitely experienced some bugs. Some things I would like to see maybe updated or changed. But overall, I mean, I still love QuestionScout. I think they'll have a few hiccups with this latest rollout. But knowing the team and how they were developing before this major release, they're like very quick to respond and like update. So I think as more and more people are using it and pointing these things out and they're getting that feedback, they'll go in and polish it. So I'm not too terribly worried, just because I know they have a really positive track record. It's with these other like new products that come out that I don't know the team, I don't know the product, its development, etc. Whether or not I can trust that they'll make the necessary changes. You would like to think they would. And, you know, sometimes they usually do, like during a given campaign, to sort of give the illusion that they're very responsive and busy. And then, like, afterwards, they just go radio silent. That wasn't QuestionScout. Like, the reason QuestionScout sort of scaled back its feature releases that it was doing regularly is because they were preparing for this, right? So I know they're gonna like take care of this for sure. Okay, so then we'll take a look at Adaform. This is a request by somebody else. It's been a hot minute since I ever touched this, so bear with me here. TD. Start blank. Because if you can't just get it from looking at it, you've got a problem. So we have form elements over here from what I remember. It's quite a bit. So let's see. This is drag and drop, right? Actually, what was this? Oh, okay, it's just saying the drag and drop. So you can do a header. Let's just do simple stuff. Name, email, short text, multiple choice. I won't do all of these, right? But just enough to get an idea. Hidden calculation formula or hidden score calculation. Yes, this is the thing that I kind of remember is I think AidaForm did a really good job with like actual like kind of quizzes. Field in which sums up total of the connected quiz questions. Okay. Score display. Do I need to do that for the other one to work? Let's see. this, required, short description, number of columns, calculation for the score calculation. This kind of, I don't know. So now am I going to this? Will that show up there? Okay. So I guess we do need a hidden. Um, let me just take 1 second. So this is the nice thing too that I like about Adaform, right? Is like this whole kind of interactivity. I think it's really solid. So email, I think this is my answer. That. This. I need to do something there. What do I need to do here? What do we need to do there? Cool. So that's how that works. Thing I would like to see though is that, well, before I say something, let me back up. Let me back it up. Higher description and plan option. No, right? I could be wrong because I'm like not as in touch with this, but I think what we're sort of seeing here is that this style of question is all there is. Such that you can't do, like you basically do multiple choice or single choice, but you can't, I don't even know really what I would do. Is there anything else? Media file, media answer. Oh, this is different. If they added this is new. It's nice. Like maybe like a drop down or something, or I don't know, actually. I mean, maybe single choice, multiple choice makes sense. But maybe drop down would be nice. I don't know. Then you would just use a single choice, right? I feel like drop down's cleaner though. Maybe just being able to add this to the question score would be nice though. So this is new. Interesting. Oh. Okay. Let's do. Cool. I'm not gonna get like too in depth with this. I've got that stuff. Let's wean some of this out. Oh, okay. So we can change the orientation of buttons at least. am I going to do here? I just want to look at logic. Because a lot of this is more or less straightforward. Like I said, I'm not as well versed on this, unfortunately, as Stripe. Yeah, this is kind of nice, I think. That products are kind of just like as easily added here. Recurring. Okay. Fixed amount. Custom amount. Okay. So you could do like fixed amount is like if they have to be charged $50. Custom amount is like you can suggest $50, but they can change it to whatever. It's like a donation, if you will. And then product selection. We'll do recurring. This is like I went, yeah. So like this is a bit wacky, right? Is that a setting I can turn off? Multiple selection. There you go. Okay. Quantities. We'll do just 10, 20, 30. $60 total. Okay, so now we can do like this. Just this. What if I do this? But okay, it still adds it and then checks it. Yeah, no, that's good. Yes, this is nice and easy. I would say this is arguably a lot better than QuestionScout's products at the moment. I don't know if they'll update it to be something like this. Like I said, they focused a lot on like this massive like UI UX update. So they've kind of neglected these type of like quality of life updates, where they say like, yeah, we do have payments and et cetera, but you know, yeah, we can also add this type of thing. Like I guess you could do like a workaround where you do calculations. It's like, you know, what would you like to buy? How many of that would you like to buy, et cetera, and then it gives you your full total. But this obviously feels a lot more intuitive. So this is nice if you really want to sell products or services or whatever it may be. Order cart. What's the difference here? Same thing, no? Choose your product. Is this somehow look different? I think so. Yeah. Okay. So while it does have it formatted for products, how does this change? This is a cart. Because here you're actually connecting to Stripe, requiring like billing information. And you have like fixed custom and product selection. But here you don't have those things. So why would you use this instead? I don't know. Wish I had the answers. Like I said, I don't use Adaform, but it's still very like, I mean, this is obviously very usable, very nice. So I'll kind of ignore these things because I just can't speak to them. But no. Those are similar on those recommended. Okay, I'm gonna find them. So how do these differ straight? Okay, well, that just gave me an error. Collect orders without advanced payment. Okay. Or connect order cart fields with the checkout fields. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you could do coupons. Okay, so this is like, I guess, more advanced, whereas these are like a little more streamlined. Let's see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I think Adaform is definitely a lot more powerful when it comes to payments. That's a really good use case. What do we have here? Setup, multi LTD tags, conditional logic. So we select this is filled, redirect here, else when this is less than 3, redirect here. Okay. Trying to think, like comparing this to QuestionScout, how that would look or work. Can you do values similarly to what we did in QuestionScout? Multiple choice does often matter. Yeah, you can do options here. And I could be wrong. There's calculation here. Let's see. Sections to calculate initial add calculation. Multiple choice teams. Still we'll add this to. We'll just add one. But to what? Click settings to calculate on the selected options, other calculations form. Okay, so we're basically saying like if this is venting and this is physical something, is that what kind of saying? This is like chocolate chip. Can I show those calculations somewhere? So like even this, like you can't drag it, but at least it has the option to reshuffle it, unlike Captain Panda. I think like even if Captain Panda did something like this, it'd be simple and would just work, but it's not the case, unfortunately. Let's do cookies. Waffles. It's disgusting, but I'm just not going to bother with it. Okay, so if we do this, when waffles, okay, when cookies contains, we're going to say like chocolate chip is what we're expecting. We're going to add 1. Okay, and then physicals when waffles contains what we're going to add 1. Or is that hidden thing? Did I add that? Okay, let me remove some stuff here. What do we say? Header, just text maybe. Text. Okay. Typing. Okay. Printing physical. Okay. Printing. Right. So I guess we could do something similar so far. How many of these? Yeah. Okay. So this is basically how you would set up a variable and then add everything to it. Is that more intuitive or less intuitive? It's definitely a lot. Just different, I guess. I don't know if it's necessarily more or less intuitive because rather than like going through each question and then assigning something, you're just going to a variable and then assigning every question to that. So I think it's basically two sides of the same coin. So that's fine. But okay, this sort of makes sense. I mean, we'll see if it works, but it should. I wish this was maybe, I guess maybe the nature of this. Could I have done numbers or something? No. Like my only concern, and I would have to go back to QuestionScout and confirm this, but like my concern is maybe if you're doing numbers here, like 1, 2, 3, maybe instead of contains, maybe you do like is equal to or is greater than or whatever. I don't know. Right. Okay, let's just preview this though. Chocolate chip. Oatmeal raisin. Well, that's not working. Let's just do is filled. It's filled. Yeah, see? So it does definitely work. So why wasn't it working here? No other option. Oops. So when cookies contains chocolate, add one. And then when waffles contains, okay. What if I do lowercase? Chocolate? Okay. Just make sure. All right. Okay. Not okay. Maybe this needs to be uppercase then. Chocolate. Oh no. Okay. So now why before I dip it's right now? Chocolate chip. Crazy. Okay. Works now. Maybe I did something wrong. Who knows? Okay. So that works. Yeah. So I mean that's how you can more or less achieve the same quizzy result there. And then in the setup, right? Let's set up. Yeah, so then after you could say like so when cook when venting is greater than oof. Let's see. Oh wait, yeah, here we go. Nope. Well, this is botched. Okay, so when venting is greater than, yeah, so we can't do it against the variable. So is there something else I'm missing? Curly bracket. That. Just gonna quickly say. Nope, that's it. All right. Yes, that's a limitation. And that's kind of what I'm saying is like, you get these platforms that are like so close and then just not there. I mean, clearly QuestionScout now is broken and isn't there. It was there, but now it's not. But so that's why I'm saying like QuestionScout just does things just that extra step further. That adds a little more polish, because I mean I would need to know then in this case there would just have to be a very like hard number that I know it has to be more than. And you could do something where there's ranges, right? Like where you're expecting ranges that like, okay, every value is a point. So maybe, oops, let me explain this. So maybe you have three things here. And you're basically saying you have three different variables. Sorry. Oh, Jesus, it's 5. You have like three different variables, and we're saying that like this one's venting. No, that doesn't work. Anyway, we're just expecting three ranges like bad, okay, and good. And so like this maybe would give 1 point value, this would give 2, this would give 3. And so basically saying like, okay, if we have 12 questions, then the lowest number somebody could possibly score is 12. And then so we can say like from 1 to 12, which doesn't make sense, but you basically say like under less than 13 is bad. And then we know, what did I say, 12 questions? If I didn't say 12 questions, I don't remember. If we have 12 questions and this is 2 points, then we know the next range is 24. So now we're saying 13 to 24 is good. And then anything above that's great. So then 25 or higher. So then here, when you're doing this, you could say like, okay, I know that if it's less than 13, because it's got to be 12 or under, then redirect here, else, oops, bad condition, else when venting is like between 13, well, I don't know if 13 is inclusive here or not. Well, let's just say 13 to 24. We'll just say that it's inclusive. I don't know without testing the platform. Otherwise, when it is greater than 24, so 25 or plus, all right? And then we'll do our URL, like URL, 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 else. I have no idea. There shouldn't be an else. Right, so in this case, it makes sense, where you know that there's ranges that you're working between, but otherwise, there's no way to compare a variable. So that sucks. Anyway, oops, let's go back to this SEO. We've got some basic SEO, email notifications, yada, yada, yada. PDF report, automatic reply, yada, yada, yada. Pretty standard stuff. Sorry. Whew. Traits, conversational UI. Once again, like another toggle, that's good. Save resume later. Yep. Go back. Yep. I almost want to say this wasn't present on launch. I think, if I remember correctly, this was something I advocated for. Was I said like, hey, you guys have the ability to do quizzes, but similarly to how we set it up, where like there's a transparency of you scored 3 out of 10. Like I want to show them that result. Well, I guess at that point they could back out, right? Anyway, if you wanted to show them the result for some reason, but you didn't want them to go back and edit their answers, you could then disable go back button. So that's nice. Autofocus activates first input field on every form page. I think this was, if I remember correctly, like more useful for conversational UI. I could be wrong. But it would basically just like highlight and select. So it was very like intuitive as you're going next. It would just auto select something and you just keep working. And auto scroll as well. But I think these were, I think these are largely conversational UI. Third-party integration, oops. what do we got here? Why do I feel like MailChimp's been coming soon forever? Yeah, we got some like basic stuff here. You got Zapier webhooks, it's kind of like enough, and you got some additional things here. But I wish there were more integrations. I guess you do have like your payments, like your Stripe and PayPal, right? Which aren't shown here; they're shown in the form itself. But I don't already manage those things under. Oy, oof, oof. Connector Stripe, yeah. So I guess you're just adding it here, which is fine. Main, I don't know if it's fine. I say it's fine, and I don't know with enough testing if it works this way or not. But if every time I have to connect to Stripe to every form, that would get annoying. Just connecting it once to like third-party integrations. I mean, this is even still within the form, but if I could connect it somehow, like under the entire account, similarly to QuestionScout, where like once I've set those up, they're available in every form. I don't know if that's how this works, but that would be ideal if that's not how it works. Anyway, that's publish form status. It's just toggle on and off. You know, as you saw the preview, and like I said, QuestionScout used to have a very similar thing to the preview. The fact that it's seemingly gone now is a bit annoying, but I also don't know if things are working at like 100% as intended. Link, you can change the URL, embed, real-time dashboard. This was actually kind of nice. Like you could do live results. So if you're doing like a poll or something, it's really cool. Like obviously you get results and you can look through the actual results page. But the fact that it actually creates this real-time dashboard is nice. Here, right? I mean, obviously, if you have more fields and stuff, like it'll be better, and it'll be a lot more. Like we just have like those two, and it's just basic. But anyway, like so that's cool. Clone form link. Yeah, so you could like basically share this. So if it's something not really like niche, like if it's pretty broad, I can like share this link with somebody and they can just import it into their account, which is nice too. Adds like collaboration, like a community inside the platform, which is always nice. Yeah, let's see, like results, pretty basic. Response summary, and responses, yeah, response inbox, etc. So not gonna get too far in depth with it, but I do like Adaform. I think Adaform does have a lot of strengths. I think it could still just use slight bit of polish in certain areas that I sort of identified, but I think its biggest strength right now are definitely payments. Oh wait, let's do designer. You could change themes pretty easily. You can also update the colors here. Oops. Background image, you can do that. You can also like change transparency. A ribbon just adds this thing to it. You can expand it if you want. Footer, I think is just that, yeah, like the ribbon on the footer or whatever you want to call it. Icons, just disabling those there. Button style, hand drawn, rounded, small, medium, and large. You can do optional for like asterisks. So, do I have anything required? No. Oh. Oh. Huh? So why is it? I don't know. It's weird that's not showing it. It's showing it here. Oh, there we go. Okay. What if we do this? Asterisk. There we go. So you'll see it takes the asterisk away. change font family. You can add Google fonts too, or you can just use Google fonts, I should say. So that's pretty nice. Progress bar. It's down here. How does that look here? Maybe because we're on one page, it doesn't really show it. In multiple pages, I'm not sure. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think Adaform. Why would you hide button? I don't know. It's weird. Let's look at this. Oh, that is the option for that. Okay. What's this? Pre-formatted code. Some basic things here. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, I think Adaform's solid. I think it's definitely one of the better quiz platforms, specifically intended for quizzes, just because it has like this whole built-in calculation and score display thing working for it. It's something that you could achieve elsewhere. You know, it's almost what we're doing here, in a sense, and we can do that in QuestionScout. But this just does it like it's formatted better, and the system overall is set up to handle that a lot better. But yeah, so that's just a quick overview of Adaform. But yeah, going back to QuestionScout, I don't know if the new lifetime deal is out for this, but I still highly recommend it. Like I said, I know there are now some sort of like bugs and issues with the platform that weren't there previously, which sucks to see. But I guess it's like somewhat to be expected. I just hope that they smooth it out before the deal goes live, if it hasn't yet, so that new users aren't experiencing that. For me, I like I said, I kind of have faith that I'll report these things, they'll address it, they'll fix it, and it'll be a non-issue in like a week or two. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. But yeah, my verdict on QuestionScout 2.0 is it looks really good. It looks a lot better. I said just lacking that like final polish that was present in 1.0. Just because of the bugs, but outside of that, I think it's just going to be a slight new like learning curve for users who were, you know, using it regularly before and felt really comfortable with the system. Now you have like it's still intuitive, but it's just different, right? I feel like I'm still missing something, but I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, I appreciate anybody that's watched this or is going to watch this or what have you. Thanks for toughing it through. I hope it was informative. I hope it helped. Yeah, I, you know, I'm gonna keep trying to do these types of videos. So if you have any recommendations or anything that you want to see, just let me know. I don't necessarily have access to every platform in the world, right? So if you say I want you to do, that's a bad example because I have a free account. But yeah, I'm not going to be well versed in every platform, right? So if you say I want to see this platform and they have like a free trial, like yeah, I could sign up for it, but I won't really know. I can give first impressions, but I won't have like as rich of an understanding as I do for something like QuestionScout. So I can always try to do comparisons, but it's going to be very kind of surface level and superficial. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.